BBC Radio Lincolnshire. We've been talking about potholes on the programme today and the problems they've caused, whether you've actually been successful in trying to claim some money back for damage from a pothole or not. And somebody contacted the show and said, you ought to get Mr. Pothole on the programme. So I said, well, surely there's not a Mr. Pothole, and there is. Mr. Pothole is on the line now. Good morning to you.
Good morning.
So what does Mr. Pothole do?
I've started a national campaign because I was fed up with the state of the roads and inactivity by councils earlier in the year, and looked at the problem from a road user's point of view and funding and how much we pay. And I was fed up with government statistics about how much they're spending when they don't recognise the massive backlog of road maintenance as well as the ongoing maintenance issues and quality control and management of them.
Have you come across problems where people have tried to make a claim to get some money back because there's obvious damage from a pothole, but it's not been successful?
Yes, I mean, the issue is they use a section under the Highways Act, Section 58, as a defence about if they're not, basically they don't know about it or report it, or it isn't picked up on their surveys, that then they're not legally liable, and they rely on people being put off by that. In fact, one gentleman, there was a report yesterday about Essex County Council actually not giving him the correct information and him successfully taking them to court, because although they say they've got a reasonable inspection regime, I've had examples where I've had meetings with directors of highways where I've said to him, if you're telling me that pothole has been inspected in the last 6 months, then I just can't believe my eyes, because I know about road structures from my experience.
I was going to say, from your working side of things, have you travelled all different sorts of roads across the country?
Yes, yeah, and I live on the border of 4 counties, so I've sort of got a good feel of how different counties operate. I mean, in terms of reporting potholes can be a nightmare, because some parts of the country it's just a basic form that they send you out, some are just a basic email. Well, with smartphone technology now, everybody can actually take photographs and send them if it's safe to do so. So I got involved with street repairs and developing a reporting system, so you don't have to know what council it is anywhere in the country, because we all see them driving around, but taking the time to know what council it is, how do you report it, I felt it was stupid nowadays with smart technology, and got involved in design of some of the system.
Well, that's a great idea, because, you know, we all travel great distances this time, don't we? You know, you take, for example, you travel to see friends or relatives at Christmas. You can't remember which county you're in or which council authority you need to write to. So you've set up a system where we can do it, and it's on a national basis, is it? Yeah.
I mean, I've worked with the British Biking Association, because they've had problems, obviously, with their membership with bikes being dangerous, particularly up in Lincolnshire. There's one of the local clubs up there that I've got some contacts with now. And they had a system that it was okay, but it wasn't up to what I thought it should be, and I've given them some feedback. So the chairman has actually set up street repairs, and it's a very smart system, very fast and easy. You can upload photographs, and the beauty of this is that we're at a soft landing, because we've only just introduced it, but rather than you have to chase it, after 28 days the council will get a follow-up email chasing them, and then 14 days and then 7 days.
You mentioned Motorcycle Club, and of course I've been talking this morning about damage to car tyres. My wife's car's going in for tracking and new tyres, etc., this week. But thinking about the motorcycle side of it, even more difficult and dangerous for motorcyclists, isn't it, potholes?
Yeah, severely dangerous to some potholes. There has been some cases the other year in Lincolnshire where a motorcyclist got injured, and unfortunately had to take litigation. But you're talking about hundreds of thousands of pounds in compensation. Well, you don't want the accident in the first place, really.
No. So the future is, are we just not spending enough money? Are the councils not spending enough money on pothole repairs?
Well, pothole repairs, they're only a symptom. It needs a massive investment. I've just done an article called UK Roads, a National Disgrace, on my website, Mr. Pothole, which says basically the sort of bullet points. I mean, they need more funding, but there needs a proper plan put in place. And in fact, back in 2000, the Department of Transport had a 10-year plan, and the then Minister said that they were going to get rid of the backlog of carriageway works, which would have been £3.75 billion. Well, that was never done. Now we're at £11 billion. As we all know, if you don't pick something up at an early stage and repair it, it costs more. So we need to do something now. But it isn't only just about funding, because I'd loathe just to give the councils the funding. It's about management, quality control. And I'd actually, as part of the Channel 5 programme I got involved in, did a series of recommendations, and there's a free download of a calendar with my recommendations on there.
Yeah, temporary fixes aren't always the solution, are they? Because it's not designed to last for the next 2-5 years or whatever. Temporary fixes are just there as a temporary measure, aren't they?
Yes, I mean, to be fair, in severe weather, they can't really do anything more than a temporary repair to take away the danger, because of the water's the problem, freezing temperatures. But really, the plan should be to try and prevent them in the first place, and do a massive exercise of resurfacing through the summer periods and improve your repair techniques. I'm actually going around looking at all the various repair techniques. That's part of my campaign this year. And there are some better techniques, but they cost a little bit more money.